Kendrick Lamar is up to his, well, he ain't up to nothing. We up to something. So let's read from this article a little bit. It's going to say, Kendrick Lamar has fans amazed with possible underlying Drake diss and Not Like Us video. Now it says the insane detectives over at Dissect Podcast unearthed this potential new layer. Kendrick Lamar made it his mission to leave Drake's entrails on the floor during their battle. While the latter will never be truly down and out, K-Dot made it clear who the winner was. The Not Like Us music video will go down as one of the most iconic set of visuals for the genre, as it is highly anticipated for weeks and turned out to be one heck of a victory lap moment. It is littered with references to previous Drake jabs, showing how much care went into putting this all together. And what is wild, the new connections that are still being made weeks and weeks later. Now, a user on Twitter by the name of Dissect Podcast, I actually listened to their podcast. If you are somebody that loves podcasts like me, if you love music breakdowns, I suggest you go and subscribe to them. It's called Dissect Podcast. They pretty much just break down meanings behind certain songs, albums. They do deep dives into albums, and they do a really good job. A lot of research goes into that. So today on Twitter, he broke down one scene in this Kendrick Lamar video, and it goes deep. Like the rabbit hole, this on some Matrix shit. All right, it goes real deep. So I'm gonna read from his thread word from word, and we're gonna break down exactly what this specific scene means in this Kendrick Lamar video. So let's get into it. So it says, new Not Like Us reference revealed. The Cell Block 1 scene seems to reference this 1997 photo of, hopefully I'm saying this correct, Mila Jovovich. Hopefully I'm saying that correct. Hopefully. And it says, why? The rabbit hole goes deep. So you all see this. This is the scene from the Kendrick Lamar video where, you know, he is sitting in a room to himself. Hold on, let me go back. Let's see. So yeah, so he's sitting in this room to himself, and it mimics the picture, this one, of Mila Jovovich. Same thing. Like if you look at it side by side, it's literally the same thing. Like, hold on, let me move it over just a little bit so y'all can see that. But it's the same thing. I mean, from the speakers, literally identical, which is crazy. So this is Kendrick Lamar, man. So let's read a little bit more. So it says, recall this scene occurs when Kendrick raps, say Drake, I hear you like I'm young, and better hide your little sister from. So it says, Mila Jovovich is a fashion model and actress. She's best known for her roles in Fifth Element and Resident Evil. Oh, okay, I remember her. Yeah, I definitely remember her from Fifth Element. So it says, however, Jovovich was discovered at age 11 by Jean-Luc Brunel and began her career as a model in the late 80s and early 90s while still a minor. Wow, okay. So it says in 1999, Jean-Luc Brunel was banned from his agency following a BBC undercover report on abuse in the fashion industry, and then moved to the US and founded MC2 Model Management with funding from, and I'm not going to say his name, but y'all can see that, J.E. So apparently, bruh got in trouble for doing some crazy stuff overseas, and he came over here and founded a new company, a new modeling agency in 1999. Okay, so let's continue. So in December of 2020, Brunel was arrested, accused of a minor, and under investigation on suspicion of supplying underage to E. Now, you all can see that, exactly who that is. So it says 2 months later, he was found D in prison, just like Epstein. Oh, I said it. Well, yeah, just like the E dude. So yeah, it says Jean-Luc Brunel basically was found guilty of all the things that the E dude was. So here's Jovovich talking about her experiences in the model industry as a minor.
Now you started out very young. You were like 11, right?
I was. It's insane. I look back at it now, I'm like, oh my God, people thought I was sexy at 11.
Yeah.
Because then I was like, oh God, I look so mature, and now I'm going, I was.
That's crazy how they let women that young even go into that.
Really?
But I mean, you know, the fashion business is really insane. I mean, you have girls in Milan at 14, And, you know, every driver is sort of their personal club promoter, their personal, you know what, dealer. And, you know, I mean, it's really sick.
She said dealer, but she said like a...
She sound like super uncomfortable talking about it.
It's really insane because I was lucky enough to have my mom with me all the time.
Yeah, well, that's...
Yeah, shout out to Mon Dude.
I can't see how anybody would not be with you at 11, 12, 13.
Right.
You would be surprised to see these little girls alone in Europe when they're from Nebraska or Iowa, and they're in Europe alone and going, yeah, party, oh, I'm so mature, oh, hi.
And the phone call to mom is, yeah, mom, I'm in the room.
Mom,
Yeah,
hi, Mom.
we're not doing anything, watching some videos.
So that was an interview that she did. Where was that? Back probably in the 90s, definitely like a 90s video. So it says a few other possible relevant details. Jovovich was recently married at age 16 to a 21-year-old man, though the marriage was annulled by her mother 2 months later. Jovovich was set to appear in Welcome to America, a film about XE. You know, you can read from that. And it would pretty much detail her in that movie, but she got removed from that movie as well. So you guys, I mean, what do you think? Do you think this is a reach? I don't know. I definitely, the similarities are very like super similar. Like when you look at this picture, you see the painting hanging against the wall. You see that painting against the wall. And I think what does it for me is the speakers. Look. Same speakers. So being that she was once a young model in the industry and was definitely taken advantage of by men in the industry, being married at 16 to a 21-year-old, like, yeah, so Kendrick definitely did his homework, and it just makes Not Like Us, it makes that entire video just look that much more damning to Drake, because it's like, it's not just a song. Like, yeah, sure, it could just be looked at as, yeah, it's just a rap song, but at the end of the day, it's so many layers in each scene almost, you know what I mean? Like you could still be breaking it down to this day. And of course, I know I did my own breakdown. I'm pretty sure that many of you probably saw that. If you haven't, make sure you go check that out. But I did a little breakdown basically talking about certain symbols, but I completely missed this. I actually saw this scene and I thought it was just in reference to Drake having to do the push-ups. You know how he did in the diss, he said, drop and give me 50. I thought that's what that was about, but apparently it goes deeper. And when I read from this and just thread by thread, it definitely looks like Kendrick was alluding to that. So, wow. Again, hip hop. Look at hip hop, man. Look, hip hop is full of poets that are very passionate about what they do. And, you know, for me, being able to see Kendrick operate from this space of like, okay, I'm going to not only give you a dope rap record, but I'm going to give you something, especially in a visual, I'm going to give you something that's just going to outlast everything else that comes after that. I think that's why the beef was done with in the first place, because it was like once Not Like Us hit, it was a wrap. And the video is legendary. And yeah, man, so that is that deep dive. If you want to see more deep dives, music related, make sure you head on over to Dissect Podcast. They're on Apple Music, you know, anywhere you get your podcast, just search for Dissect Podcast. So who knows what Not Like Us will give us next month. We might find out something new, but you know, if we do, I'm gonna be here to chop it up with y'all about that. So yeah, man,